Squint your eyes and look closer. I'm not between you and your ambition. I am a poster girl with no poster. I am 32 flavors and then some.
You may have gotten a diagnosis from your healthcare provider or your doctor. Lymphedema, lipedema, PCOS, autoimmune disorder, thyroid disorder, anything that attacks your metabolism. It gets really frustrating and scary because you also see faces of these disorders tell you about all the changes that they go through. They're always tired, their body changes, and it gets scary. When I saw that, I thought, that can't be the case. There has to be something out there so I don't end up in a horrible situation. I want to be able to live the best life that I can live despite my diagnoses. My philosophy was IGFW. IGFW was a term coined by my cousin one day when we were actually putting stuff in the recycle bin. A town where we live in has an ordinance where if you fill up the recycle bin and it overflows, you get fined when they have to clean that up. So my cousin did not want to pay the fine, and neither did I. So he just said IGFW. He was going to make it work so we didn't have to pay the fine. So now you got a little hint what the W stands for. Let me tell you what it all stands for. IGFW stands for it's gonna flippin' work. Okay, the F stands for something else, but we want to keep this family oriented. Let me talk a little bit more about the IGFW philosophy. Let me give you a little bit about me and where I'm coming from. I have 2 autoimmune disorders. I have celiac disease, and I also have autoimmune thyroiditis. The autoimmune thyroiditis wreaks havoc with my metabolism, let me tell you. I also was diagnosed with lipedema. For those of you who don't know what lipedema is a weird disorder that they don't know what the cause is, where your fat cells in your lower trunk, rather than working the way where they expand, compress, they start withholding a lot of liquids and fluids in your body, and it can't expel it. So as a result, your lower trunk gets a little bit bigger than the rest of your body. And unfortunately, the only way to get rid of those defective fat cells is through liposuction, water-based liposuction. That's a pretty scary diagnosis. And if you don't keep it under control, it only gets worse, even scarier. The beginning of this year, I was also diagnosed, I was affected by Lyme disease. Lyme disease hit 2 of my organs. It hit my liver, and it also hit my lymph system. Now, about 10 or 15, it was actually about 10 years ago, I had an operation to remove tumors from my uterus, and they had to actually cut me. And as part of cutting me, they removed some lymph nodes out of my body. Now, because the Lyme disease attacked my lymph system, I ended up getting lymphedema from it because I didn't have enough lymph nodes in my abdomen area. So sometimes on my right leg it gets swollen, and also my trunk, as it is a little bit today, gets swollen, especially in humid weather like it is today. And also I have to watch with my liver, which I'm fine with. I've got that under control. So as you can see, I got a lot of different issues, and I forgot to mention this part. I also have polycystic ovaries. So I've got it all. It's all scary, but I'm not, even though I have that, I'm going to make it work. IGFW. I totally understand the frustration, especially coming from the faces of the different conditions. Because quite honestly, there really isn't a whole lot of information out there, very little to none, for people with certain conditions to get well, to get fit, to keep living life, to be healthy. Nothing. And even some of the information that is out there is honestly detrimental. It may work for a person of a normal constitution, but if you have PCOS or you have lymphedema, or of some other disorder that affects your metabolism, it actually has the opposite effect on you. I still wanted it to work. So some of the things that I did with the IGFW philosophy was research. I did a lot of research. Thank goodness for the internet. I did a lot of research on the internet to find providers that are close to my area or even outside of my area that have written things about my different conditions and some of the things that they've performed or they've done in order to get well, get healthy, get fit. Here's a perfect example. Typically, if you've been diagnosed with PCOS or lipedema or whatever, you're probably told by your doctor, hey, just cut back your calories, eat whole wheat bread, eat low-fat Greek yogurt, eat turkey breast. On the surface, that's all healthy, but if you have a certain condition like I do, and a lot of these conditions that I've named, that actually has the opposite effect on you. And that was some of the things that I found in my research. Is the big thing about this is inflammation. We are susceptible to be inflamed because our bodies are fighting against us. And as we're eating certain foods, to us it causes more inflammation, which in turn, and this is where it gets really crazy, in turn it makes us fat storing machines, because all that inflammation feeds on the fat and wants you to be fat in order to to battle the inflammation. So so what I've learned is you eat an anti-inflammatory diet, and once you switch that, that's part of the battle. The other thing that I did research on is, again, related to the inflammation, is you have to really adjust your activity to make it work. You really do. You may see somebody doing Ninja Warrior exercises or these insanity P90X type things. It works for the normal constitution, but it doesn't work for you because it only encourages the inflammation. And again, it makes us fat storing machines. We don't need that. We don't need any more assistance, thank you very much. So I did some research and found some with different things out there, and also worked with some physical therapists to find some activities that can still keep you fit, keep the wolves at bay, and keep you active without causing inflammation. And there are a lot of activities out there. Just remember, if you were diagnosed with a condition or conditions that affects your metabolism, please remember it's not the end of the world. You're not destined to gain a boatload of weight or get really tired or get some other crazy side effects. Just keep the philosophy of IGFW going. With a little bit of tweaks here and there, you'll be able to manage your symptoms, and that won't happen to you. This is why I formed this channel. I did 2 years of research. I did 2 years of research to be able to find ways to manage the conditions so I don't end up with really crazy side effects, and I could still live my life and be healthy and happy and fit. I don't really want you to be able to do 2 years of research as well as trial and error, and some of the trial and error, oh, I could tell you some stories. I don't want you to have to go through this. So what I'm doing with this channel is I'm putting everything together as a one-stop shop so you can find the information that you need to be fitter, stronger, and healthier. Just remember, you can and you will. Stay well.
Good at your flavors and then some. I'm taking my chances as they come. I'm 32 flavors and then some. Looking for truth, and there are